monsters, madness, and magic.
All right, folks, welcome to the Monsters, Madness, and Magic podcast. I'm your host, Justin, here with a quick word before we dive in. Now, in this episode, I'm joined by special guest co-host JP Abboud, and his band The Scepter is on tour throughout Canada from September till October. They're going to start out in Ottawa and end in Winnipeg, so make sure to go check those guys out. Anyway, in this episode, we chat with legendary vocalist Michael Kiske about spirituality, science fiction, stage fright, Helloween, and more. As always, thank you all for listening out there, and without further ado, here you go. Michael, just to get started here, take us back in time. You're a little kid. Would you consider yourself a book reader, fort builder, troublemaker, or all of the above?
I was a book reader, definitely. I mean, I was like I was always fine on my own. You know, I never needed groups of people or anything. I was always rather at home playing guitar or reading some books or stuff. Like I had my friends, but it was like one or two friends. But I was never looking for groups of people to belong to or stuff like that. I was definitely a reader.
So did you have a genre of books that you lean towards, or maybe a specific author?
I was always spiritual. My family wasn't at all. They were like nice atheists, but I brought it with me. So I had this natural kind of knowing about spirituality and things like that. So I was just intensifying that. I was looking for information.
I could see that in your lyrics, like especially your solo album from 2005, the Kiske record. Yeah. A lot of spiritual searching in those lyrics.
Yeah, you can't really express it very well in this type of music, to be honest with you. So it's just a little bit in there sometimes, but it is that was always I would even say like the meaning of my existence here. Music was always great. It was something I needed to do to have the free time to work with my spirit. You know, that was very early on. I would even say like around 12 years old. I saw, and I don't have anything to do with religions, even though I believe in Christ. I have no doubts about who he is and stuff, but I didn't care. I don't care for church, religions, and all that stuff. But I saw an Italian movie, Jesus of Nazareth, when I was 12, and I knew that's true. I just knew it. It was just, I didn't need anyone to tell me anything. I think I was 12.
I remember that film from Catholic school. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, great movie with Robert Powell, a great Jesus. Yeah, he played that really well.
It gets very weighty, dramatic. There's like the crucify him, like it's very like
Yeah, but he was not so. I mean, it was Ferrelli, I think the Italian guy who made it. The original movie I think is about 6 hours or something, but it wasn't the typical Hollywood overblown kind of thing. Yeah, it was really natural. It was really just conversations and stuff, and it had some kind of seriousness and depth. Yeah, it's still my favorite when it comes to the. Most of them are pathetic. Most of them I can't watch. They're just ridiculous. But that one is really good.
You're not into the Charlton Heston era too much, or
too much of this pathos. Like spirituality is not about big words. Spirituality is about meaning. You know,
feel like it's hubris, like human failing.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like most of the Hollywood movies, they have something so overblown and static, and unreal. You know, it's not really moving you or anything. It's pathetic to a certain extent. You know, most of them, and that movie didn't have that. It was like. Yeah, I still think it's the best movie that tells the gospel. Or parts of the gospel, you know?
Michael, just curious, since you mentioned, it's sort of hard to express that sort of thing in this style of music.
But sometimes, like, do I remember Alive, for instance? But I don't know if you know that song, but I was like,
I love that song, my man. Yeah.
I was like, you had to go to almost like an operatic kind of approach to it. I mean, I'm really into classical music. I've been like very early on. Like especially German classical music, like Beethoven, Wagner, Mozart, these kind of things. And when you automatically like rock and roll as the title already like has in itself tends to be superficial. It tends to be about fun, party, whatever. And when you want to put some meaning into it, or you want to express something that means something to you, it easily gets cheesy or preaching or something like that, which I didn't want to do either. So it's like, so you need to create some kind of a different sound to almost like a Wagner kind of vibe to be able to put some of those lyrics in there. It almost came natural, like a song like "Longing," for instance, that I did on Chameleon. We did that with parts of an orchestra. It didn't turn out to be a metal song, you know what I mean? It was something else.
I've played "I Remember a Life" for people, and I've always described your performance on it as like, this is like Elvis if he was hitting 4.5 octaves. Where it is.
Elvis had that spiritual side too. He was like, it was not very pop, it was not very known, but especially in the later years when he got lost, when he was really frustrated and depressed and all that, he was digging deeper and deeper into spiritual subject. He obviously didn't find anything that was helping him, but he was like really searching for answers. He was like, especially in the last couple of years of his life.
Unchained Melody, that last performance, my man. Whoa, incredible.
Yeah, he was always great. I mean, he had this gift of, and the best singers do have that. You can feel how they feel. You can feel the emotions they have when they sing the song. And this is with Elvis. When he got sad in the end, you hear that. You hear his sadness and that he's just not happy with his life. But he never lost the voice. It's also amazing when you look at the very latest performances that he did in '77, you see how he was able to bring the voice up there like a tenor, like a classical tenor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
His voice was getting stronger and stronger. It was amazing.
You're very healthy, obviously, but I feel that way about your voice, that it's so incredibly strong on this new record.
Yeah. I had an interview yesterday with another person that was asking me why my voice is still so intact, and I said a few things about that you should try to sing the way it's kind of natural to you, that you don't try to force your voice in a way that it doesn't want to do. So it's like when you rehearse for like 2 hours, 3 hours with your band, you should still afterwards be able to talk and have a voice. If you don't, you do something wrong. But the other thing, what was the thing? The last thing you said?
Well, we were talking about Elvis, we were talking about Unchained Melody, and then we were talking about Do I Remember a Life? But now we're on the subject of performance in the voice. Yeah, and that I think your voice is taking on qualities of like, certain singers, stay great, and you're one of those.
I lost the connection why I was going to the other interview. I just lost the connection.
It happens.
Let's get Justin and get it back on track.
It had something to do with, and the other thing was that I'm not the typical party guy.
Yeah.
I'm not someone who takes drugs or has to get drunk every weekend. And I think that's part of it. I mean, I have friends that I know from the school years, and they lived a particular lifestyle, and they're screwed. It's like you age very fast when you like, as a young one, you don't feel it. You do these parties and you drink and you try everything out. But when you get over 30, or in the direction of the 40s, that's when your body tells you, I don't like what you did.
Yeah.
Yes, we're just human. And I always say that to specific people that I know, your organs are not made of metal.
Despite what you may want. So just curious, Michael, you mentioned your spirituality from a young age, and a question I like to ask everyone is, what scared you as a kid, and does any of that relate to your spiritual nature growing up?
Didn't have any fear. And I think that was part of it. And I don't fear death. I know it's going to be a relief. It's going to be finally. But it's like, life is precious. Don't get me wrong. You got to hold on to it as long as you can, because here's where you learn. But I wasn't afraid of it. And I also knew that I wanted to do music. I think a lot of young ones, it's difficult for them to know what they shall do with their lives, because the society is sometimes like not really motivating to do something. It's like it's quite difficult for younger generations to figure out what you want to do with your life. And I didn't have that either. I knew I wanted to make music. I knew that I wanted to be a singer, and after a while, I got into the hard rock kind of stuff. So it was, and I think it gives you some kind of confidence when you know what you want to do with your life. But I was quite fearless, and it's interesting because now that you say that, I realize that I didn't have a lot of fear.
Was stage fright ever an issue for you when you started performing?
In the beginning, yeah, in the very beginning, and you always have that a little bit before show, but that's also part of the excitement, and it's gone as soon as you are on stage. It's always gone then. But before, I think everybody has that a little, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd be surprised if people have nothing like. I mean, you are in the focus, you know. People are looking at you. Like a whole bunch of people looking at you when you're on stage, and it's not like you go to the bakery and get some rolls in the morning. You know, it's a different kind of thing, and it has a very specific energy that it's very hard to describe for someone who doesn't know it. It's like when you play in front of like 100,000 people or 80,000 people, like in Wacken or some of those festivals. It's an unbelievable energy that comes from the audience. And it's a positive energy, you know. They're like excited and this, but it gets to you if you have some senses for it. It's almost like a drug. It really is. I remember the last time we played in Wacken, for instance. I was 23. It was a great gig. I didn't even remember some of the songs that we've played. Did we play them? Because you're almost in trance. Like it's just because of the energy from the audience.
That makes sense. Like, I mean, I've never played in front of that many people, but like 4,000, and they were singing along, and that felt like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And some people get carried away by it. You know, it's like it's very difficult to stay in control when you're surfing on that energy.
Oh yeah. Make like a sound that you might not have wanted to, or something. Like, whoa, take it back.
Yeah, or you over push, or yeah. I mean, it's not everybody's made for it. You know, it's like some people become ridiculous when they're on stage. It's like, and others, they can deal with it. You know, it's like it's not everybody's made for it. The same way as not everybody is a surgeon. You know, I couldn't cut anyone open, and I would die. You know, I couldn't do that.
You know, sticking with your childhood, Michael, what would you say were the most impactful live shows that you saw growing up early on?
Oh, that was clearly Iron Maiden and Queensryche. Believe it or not, we were going to a Ronnie Dio gig. He was solo, and he was playing in Hamburg, and he had Queensryche as the support act. We didn't know who they were. We thought they were a hair metal band or something like that, because it had such a we couldn't even pronounce the name Queensryche. Well, we didn't expect anything, and then it was around the warning, and then they started. Cool. It was just amazing. It was like, I mean, at that time they were like extremely good and very, very, very different. Yeah, that had a big impact. But also seeing Iron Maiden, I was still in school when they did the Peace of Mind tour, and it was funny. I was in the crowd in front of Adrian Smith. And at the end of the gig, I was pointing at his sweatband.
Oh, yeah.
He threw it to me. You know, cool. I had it on my wall for a number of years, and I told him about it when I was working with him on 2 songs for my solo record many years later.
Those songs that you did with him and Kai are super cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was definitely fun. I was in his house in England for maybe a week or something. And I told him about these little things mean something to you when you're young, you know. It's just like, or like when Bruce Dickinson and Steve Harris are wearing Helloween shirts. They were Helloween shirts at a photo session for the Kerrang in the 80s. I mean, that means the world to you when you start off in the music. You know, they haven't got a clue what that means to someone.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they heard Keeper of the Seven Keys and they were blown away, man. That song's an opera.
I remember that in Metal Hammer over here, there was a section where they were playing new songs and new material from new bands that they're just coming out. And I remember that they played Future World to Bruce Dickinson. And of course I wanted to see what he said. He said, I hear some influences there. But it's cool. He makes his own thing out of it. I like it. Forget that. That was good.
What a jam, Future World.
It's like in '88 we did quite some touring with them in Europe. It was great. I mean, that was around Keeper 2. Can you imagine that lineup? It was amazing. It was great fun.
That's incredible. No, I played with a guy. He played bass in an old band of mine. He saw you guys in Donington on that show.
Yeah, we played more than that. Donington was really just one. I think it was the Seventh Son of the Seventh Son tour. By that time, we were also managed by Rod Smallwood, who was always managing Iron Maiden, and so it was. I guess it was a natural thing to put these two bands together. But it just worked so well. The audience was, it was just fitting. Both of the bands were like. The audience was not louder when they played. They were like the same level when we played. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good feeling.
Totally a great time. It was good years. It was the first phase for me.
Yeah. Oh, so cool. So cool. Like, and now it's this whole new thing, right? Because like, okay, so I saw Gamma Ray live in Chicago in 2010. I saw Helloween with Andy live in 2013. But then I saw with you back in the fold, 2018 in Chicago. What a long set list that was. You guys played everything, and you guys played "Livin' Ain't No Crime." It was crazy. Yeah. It was so good.
That was the tour where we did not have a record, so we were able to just play all the. I think that was the show where I fell off the stage, right?
I didn't see it
because I drank too much.
I might have missed that part, but that's because I was with the girl doing the same thing.
But that was one of the shows where I really blacked out. I was in front of the drums.
Yeah,
I think they didn't notice because it didn't have an impact on my performance. I had a break anyway. I was in front of the drums and I saw Donnie, and then I blacked out and I saw the monitor guy pulling me out of the audience.
I remember you sang all of Keeper at that one too. Andy only
I didn't miss out or anything, and I was fine. But it was the only time that I really had some kind of a blackout because of too much red wine.
Wild. It must have been good wine.
I just drank it too fast. It's just like when you have this adrenaline, sometimes you don't. I didn't feel anything. So it was like, that's my guess. Maybe the wine was bad. Who knows?
Oh, it crept up. Yeah. Well, honestly, that was one of the coolest shows I've ever seen. But I saw you guys again in Detroit in 2023. And that was your first time since the 80s, you were saying at the show?
You mean in that place?
Yeah.
Might be, yeah. I think so. Yeah. I think in Detroit, that was in the 80s when we were there. And I even remember it was an extremely high stage. People were like,
Harpo's. It was Harpo's. Yeah. I know the club's still there.
And there was a guy in the audience that looked like Kerry King.
But might have been him.
I don't think so. I don't know. But he looked exactly, he still had long hair.
Oh, it wasn't him.
He digs Helloween, I know that.
By that time, he had long hair.
Okay.
Early on in the 80s. It was probably not him, but I was like, is that him?
So, Michael, what was going? Obviously, you had that long break from Helloween, but when you come back to the band and you have that first live performance together again, like what's going on with you internally? Like, what's the emotional state?
I mean, it was like, I had a very bad start in 2017 because I started sick. I caught some kind of virus like a couple of days before. That was really, really bad. And I was carrying that with me for the whole 2 months. Yeah, it was horrible. I should have called a break, and today I would. We just pulled it through. But the audience was so good that it didn't matter that much. It's like, of course before you take off, of course everybody's nervous. But as I said earlier, as soon as you get the energy from the audience, it's one of those things you cannot create. You can't make bands. Bands come together out of common reason. They create the real bands. They're always better together than they are individuals are on their own, because together they create a spirit. They create something magical. And I felt that. It felt like, and that's also why I thought it's a good thing that we're doing this, because it feels right. It feels like the right thing to do.
Awesome, man. That's it sounds like the right thing. And like you and Andy at times are doing harmonies like you're the Everly Brothers. It's really getting cool. Like
it's really interesting with me and Andy anyway. We really like each other, and which helps, it helps a lot when you there's just no competition. It's we're in it together, and that's good.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. That song where you guys all sing on the new one, Majestic, like that has like a very cohesive feeling. Awesome feeling.
I think Kai wrote that one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because it does sound like a classic Gamma Ray song, but with you and Andy helming it, it's just very like it's got the classic. Oh, and We Can Be Gods. Did Kai write that one? You sound amazing on that one, bro.
I'm bad with knowing who did what. I know that Andy did Into the Sun.
Hmm.
Andy did Tokyo Little by Little. There's this typical trademark. And yeah. I mean, he was. How do you say it? Pulling things out of the classical Halloween pool.
Yeah.
And was working with that, and it worked out. It's more Kai and Waiki style than it is his. It's like, but he was able to pull it off, and since he plays in the band, it's okay.
Definitely. No, I think Sasha's made some cool songs. Are you guys ever gonna bring are you guys ever gonna bring Asshole into the set? Have you heard that one? That one kind of that one
I think
rocks.
we played Angel a couple of shows, which is a favorite of mine. I thought
Oh,
it was
that's a good
good
one.
because it was different. It's not an easy track to play live. We did it a few times, and I thought it worked. But it's not so much a party song, and this is why Kai likes songs to be having a bit of a party vibe, which you can't do all the time. But when you bring audience, which I don't think is a bad thing, when you bring the audience in a mood to listen, it's not bad either. It's like if it is one or two songs or whatever, and then you have more rocking tunes or whatever. But it's like Kai loves it to be like all the way through Firestorm.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got lots of faces now, like with lots of different eras to play live, and it's yeah, like I said, the way you and Andy are singing together too, you're making it so, it's getting so interesting, and I can't wait to hear how it keeps developing.
Yeah, it works great. And it's also like for the songwriters, I think is also interesting because they can work with it. You can either have that voice or both, or you can even sneak Kai in if you feel like it.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, we're used to bands like Kiss having two vocalists, either Paul Stanley or Gene singing. Linkin Park is another band who had two vocalists. And for us, it's unusual because it wasn't like that. It was always one singer, but now we do it all together, and we have like all the three whoever sang in the band are now part of it, and you can do
Uh-huh.
anything with it, which is unusual, and it's cool. I don't think that anyone has ever done it like that. I think Van Halen tried it, didn't they?
They attempted to, but then everyone like Eddie got sick and a few things happened. Yeah, yeah. They attempted. They were gonna have Michael Anthony back, which would have been so cool. I know you know
That
that.
would have been really cool, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I'll tell you what, I have a question for you. Material related. I do know that like some of Halloween's coolest songs from like 2000s to 2010s early, some of it's repurposed Andy solo material. Like he metaled up some of his solo material.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. King's Fall. That would be a really cool, heavy Halloween ballad, like in the classic style.
I mean, I always write songs in a quite different way, and then they make a Halloween song out of it. It's like the original versions that I had of Little Time was very different, lots of parts. They just took a few parts and made one song out of it. It was like we
Mhm.
got the same thing. It was simplified, and it had to be simplified
Oh
to.
yeah, I have your acoustic version from later. It's amazing, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's always. I would probably today. I mean, I know better how to arrange a song. It would be more in balance now, I would guess. But still, I'm sure if I would come up with an idea, they would make their own thing out of it, and they should. I mean, that's the whole point.
But yeah, no, I do feel some of the stuff from Readiness to Sacrifice and the Kiske album. I don't know, like some of it could be the new really sick Halloween ballad on the third
Never thought
Reunited.
about it. I never thought I haven't heard these records for ages. I mean, it's like usually when I'm done with an album, I don't even listen to it anymore. And I had an experience that fans were making a video for my birthday some years ago, and there was a song in the background that I was singing and I couldn't remember. That's the weird thing. You hear yourself sing a song, you
Yeah.
hear your voice, but you do not remember that you ever did that. It's almost like you see us as almost like an out of body experience.
That's just being cool, dude.
Probably a bonus track or something like that. I couldn't remember anything about the song. I think it was one I even wrote.
Just curious, Michael, when you're starting out early on, when you look back, is there anybody that gave you a piece of musical advice that sticks out?
I was like, to be honest with you, I was the type of teenager who sucked everything in that was wise. Anything. It didn't matter if it was a teacher who said something like in between the hours in school that was of any kind of human value, I sucked it in. And I remember everything that I thought had value. I just noticed that again, like lately, that I was always like that because I remember things like little bits and pieces of that person here or that, because I was like longing for it. Any kind of wisdom. Of course, Elvis, what I learned from Elvis is that everything that really matters is how you do it. I mean, he recorded some of the most cheesy songs, but since he did it, it was cool. He was able to own every song and give it his fingerprint. And usually the versions that he did were better than the originals because it was freaking Elvis doing it. Okay. But that's something that I think I learned from him, that it's all about personality and it's all about giving it your fingerprint and doing it like only you can do it. I've learned a lot of different things from different people. Everywhere where I felt I didn't think about it. I just realize it now that I remember it. A statement someone did there or anything that I thought had value, I sucked it in.
And having those complete memories, like being able to weave a thread through them that creates a meaning, and it's something that you carry with.
And adult people are very often not aware of what it is that is interesting for a young one. Very often you had like an hour in school where you learn whatever, history, something like that. You forget everything about it. Boring as fuck, okay? But then in the meantime, like after the hour, you had a private talk maybe to the teacher, and he was a human being there. He wasn't the teacher, he was a human being there. And then he says something, and that's what you remember. But very often the adults are not aware of what young ones are listening to. They don't care about your preaching. They don't care about what you say, what they shall do. They care about what you do.
In one of those classes, there's a kid that looks like the misfit in the Rush Subdivisions video that's listening to Universe, Gravity for Hearts right now. You guys got to keep making great material for that kid.
Okay. Definitely. I just find it very interesting when I'm looking back at my own youth, and adults are often very wrong what matters.
Yeah.
And it's the same when you are a parent, when you have children. It's much more important what your heart speaks, what you feel and what you think and what you do than what you're saying. Because that's what they suck in. That's what they learn from. If you show some greatness, if you show some strength, some personality, that impresses them. This is something that the best parents would be the ones that the kids want to copy.
Yeah.
They think that they're great, but not so much preaching. You gotta live it. You should really not smoke. It's really, really bad for you. Yeah. And I've seen an interview with Billy Idol. I don't know. Is he big? Was he known in America? Billy Idol.
Yeah.
Huge man. Like kids still listen to him.
He was rock and roll. I mean, he was wild, and it was something, and it was something that was very natural for him. And he was also almost innocent in his wildness. I don't know if when you see older, he reminds me a bit of Elvis in his youth. When you see him, I don't know if it was Letterman, like a young Billy Idol in the 80s, it's almost innocent. He has this, like Elvis had it, this innocent wildness somehow. He has kids now. And he doesn't take these drugs anymore. And he doesn't want to be a hypocrite. So he says, "Yeah, I did all that," and I can understand his situation. He doesn't want the kids to take the drugs, but he did it. So how to deal with it without being a hypocrite? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Easy.
You mentioned this earlier about your spirituality. A question I like to ask everyone is, have you ever had an encounter that you would consider supernatural, paranormal, an event you can't explain, something along those lines?
I didn't need it. I was always connected. I
Mm.
was always connected, and I didn't need to be kicked out of the body. I didn't need to have a near death experience to know about the other realms. I was just when I was very young. I always felt this entity next to me, a wise, patient, loving entity. It was always with me, and I know who that was. Everybody has this angelic kind of figure that leads you through life and afterwards, stuff like that. I know that now, but that's something that I had when I was really young. And when I got older, it kind of moved inside, I would say. But I never needed any Hollywood-like spiritual revelations to be convinced about the spiritual or the moral meaning of life. That was just something that I brought with me. I was always connected here and also here, you know?
Do you have that same feeling on stage?
On stage, not necessarily. Sometimes there are moments, you know, where it becomes almost spiritual. But it is so intense that it's a different kind of mode, and it's also quite loud. You know, it's like when things are loud, it's kind of difficult for spirituality. But there's certainly an energy, and when that energy is uplifting, when that energy is positive, it goes in that direction a little bit.
I can hear what you're saying in the song Longing. The part in the middle where you do the descending chords, and then you're
Yeah.
like, the truth that is in everything that isn't has
Yeah.
been.
That was a
Will
song
be.
that I wrote within a few minutes. It was just it was just given. That was yeah, yeah. It was actually a song. I have a friend, a female friend. She's Spanish, but she lives in England, and she contacted me because she was an atheist her entire life, and she was listening to that song, and that song was like emotionally speaking to her, and then she had some kind of an experience, and then she was contacting me, but it was this song that made her feel like she should contact me or something. And now we're friends and we're talking all the time and things like that. But I almost
That's
forgot
super,
about it.
that's super cool.
Yeah, it's great. Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially when you see that something like this means something or speaks to someone. You know, I wrote it in a moment. It was something that I just wanted to express. And then you do other things and almost forget about it. But it's great to have a feedback like that and realizing that it speaks to people sometimes, you know, in a way that you wouldn't even expect. But that's the magic of music, you know.
Especially with the way you like take them to church on "Do I Remember a Life" and all these different songs. You know, like your timbre and your sound is so distinct. You know, so like I can see why it like reaches people in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I don't hear it, but
Yeah.
some people say that. That's great. I mean, this is the thing that I mean. I've discovered some singers have it and some don't. I discovered a young woman from Holland that to me has got it too. She's like kills me when she sings. It's just like, I don't know if you ever heard of. You probably never heard of her. She's big in Holland. And she got recognized by Pink. Pink was listening to a cover that she did, and then
Oh,
Pink
badass.
was talking about the Davina Michelle,
Okay, cool. I'll check it out. Yeah, yeah.
best female voice I've ever heard. She has an amazing sound,
Can't wait to
amazing
check that out.
resonance, perfect control. But when she's not with all the recordings, but when she is in the moment, when she feels great, she's magic. She has the same thing that I said earlier. You can feel how she feels. She's able to transport that through her singing. She's like maybe the best vocalist that I've ever heard.
Oh, wow. That's an endorsement.
Yeah, yeah. Just curious, Michael, you know, you mentioned when you were young that Iron Maiden and Queensryche, these were formative experiences, but even earlier, what were your parents listening to? Like, what records were your parents introducing you to as a kid?
They were not listening to a lot of music, but they were into Elvis.
Hmm.
I mean, Neil Diamond. But I was like, I got into Elvis when he died. I was 9 years old, because that's when they started to show him on TV again, and this is when I got excited about music in general. So I was listening to Elvis, and then later on, I through a friend, I got into the Beatles. So we started to get guitars, and we started to sing the Beatles songs. We were singing harmonies and stuff, and then there was also Simon and Garfunkel. We were like singing lots of Simon and Garfunkel songs. Those were my roots, like Elvis, Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel. And then I think around 14, that's when I got into the hard rock metal kind of music. It was that year where Iron Maiden released Number of the Beast, where Judas Priest had Screaming for Vengeance. I think Metallica just released Kill 'Em All. I think it was that year. I'm not 100% sure. It was a great time to get tapped. Yeah. I totally loved them. The first three records. I was meditating them. Scorpions too. I got into them. I knew them a little bit earlier through a boyfriend of my sister, because I think he gave me Animal Magnetism. Yeah, I remember that.
Cool.
But I got into them with Blackout. I still think that's maybe their strongest record.
Yeah, that one's crazy. Did you know that Don Dokken was supposed to be the singer on it when Klaus was like ill?
Yeah, but he wanted to. He thought it was over. He thought it was over, and he said, "You got to get another singer." And they said, "Fuck you, we're waiting." You get yourself, and then they developed this thing for him with this electronic massage kind of thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was doing that since, and
Whoa.
since then.
No, I never knew the full details of that. That's crazy. I didn't know they had those so early.
And he was fine after that. I mean, he's an amazing singer. A very unique voice, very feminine. He sounds very feminine,
No, yeah, it's got the Steve Perry kind of like the O's and A sounds are very up
he
there.
Sings one word,
and
it's him. And that's precious.
Yes.
Like Sting is the same kind of person. He sings one line, Sting,
Michael, when you decided to finally pursue music, were your parents supportive of the idea?
That I wanted to do music?
Yeah.
I was living with my mother. They were divorced, so I was living with my mom, and she was like all parents are, Yeah, you can do that on the weekend, but you gotta learn something proper and whatever. And then she made me apply to this job of someone that we knew, and of course I got the job. So I worked in it for half a year, but the only thing that I had in my head was music. I knew that I was going to do this, and I also knew that I was going to be fine. It was something that my friends couldn't understand. I had no doubts that I would be successful somehow. It's weird. There's some people just don't understand it. It's not arrogance. It's not that you think that you are just so amazing, but it's like, of course you think. You're so excited about it. I think that's what it is. You're so excited about music that you have no doubts that it's going to get somewhere. And I remember when we did the Keeper One record, and I was 18, I think, when I recorded it. I knew that this was going to be successful. I remember that because I had a discussion with a friend of mine. I was like painting what's going to happen and what we're going to do. And he said, "Well, Michael, I wish you all the best, but blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Can't you hear it? Hear it?" But that gives you that drive. That gives you that drive that also convinces listeners. It's like when you have that faith in what you're doing, and when you are really excited about it, and you think it's just the coolest thing in the world, it has a quality, it has a spirit that is almost irresistible. I remember that you can't fake it. It's either there or not. You can't fake it. But I remember I've even heard an interview of John Lennon saying something about the Beatles. He said, "Believe it or not, we thought that we're the greatest band in the world. And believe it or not, that's what got us where we ended up to be." You give it a drive. It's an emotional thing. It's a spiritual thing. Everything you put into whatever you do, not just music, whatever it is you do, it's in there. You give it a spirit. And if you are passionate, this is why certain singers kill you. You hear them and you die, like Davina Michelle. She did a cover of Halo from Beyonce. I'm dying when I'm hearing that, because it has so much, it's so beautiful, the way she performs it. You got to hear that. Halo from Davina Michelle. It's a cover. And it's like, and she has this, Oh, she did like I don't know if that guy is very successful in America. Capelli. He did. I think he's Irish, and he has a lot of problems with psychological problems. But he's a great singer, a great songwriter, and he wrote this song about a girl that he knew, and nobody knew that she was struggling, that she was fighting with depression, and she killed herself. And he didn't know. He didn't know there was because on the outside she was always funny, happy, and you thought she's just having the best time of her life, but you didn't. And the song is about that. And Davina sings a cover of that song, and it kills you. There's so much sadness in the voice, and Capelli saw that cover and posted a link to her version even on his own homepage.
Damn, that's an endorsement too. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Davina Michelle.
She does sometimes she does a bit more rock, but it's usually like I would say like Jessie J, Whitney Houston, a bit more modern. It's more like pop music with depth, like a bit of Lady Gaga, everything very vocal oriented. But her musical taste is mine. It's like it's the stuff that I grew up with. You know, it's like a lot of the bands outside of the metal genre that I was listening to, because I was always listening to a whole lot of music, different styles of music. So I understand everything that she does. I understand her language, and she writes all the songs that she records on her own record with her boyfriend together. And it's great material.
Cool.
She did a song called Liar, which is about someone who cheated on her. It's like the boyfriend she had before. And she did a performance there in the pandemic, like a live performance just with one guitar, and she sings it, blows you away. Liar. She's wearing like a very colorful kind of almost theatrical plastic kind of stuff, very long blonde hair. If you find that one, you got to check it out, Liar. But she did many versions of it. Let me just see if I can find a picture. Sure. And everything is live. Everything is live sung.
That's cool. I don't know. There's lots of good pop music coming out. I don't know. Like, do you remember, like, this is older, but do you remember Alison Goldfrapp?
I think so.
Yeah. She did like a T-Rex kind of thing, but it was a little electro. That was a cool sound.
The thing with Liar is when I heard that song, she started to become known by recording a cover every week. And now she has like 2 million followers thanks to Pink. Pink was hearing What About Us, which she did a cover from, and Pink's reaction is just priceless. She said, "Who is this? Did she release records or anything like that? No? Well, that has to change." And then she said, "This is amazing. This is better than I could ever sound. I'd love to own it." You can't say anything better. And since then, Davina got quite known. Not as much as she deserves, in my opinion, but still.
That's as good as it gets, though. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows what a great girl Pink is. I mean, here it is. But
I've never seen Pink live, but I saw her bass player live in another band, Fireball Ministry. They were great. Oh, this is Davina Michelle?
That makes records and puts records out? Okay, well, that needs to change.
We just go to the point.
That is incredible. I love that. I want to own that. Oh, my God.
That's so cool. Those lilts she was doing were crazy. I haven't heard anything like that.
I mean, that's years ago. I mean, she was like early 20s. She's way better now. I just want to show you the image of the performance of Liar. And when I heard the song the first time, because she started off doing all these covers, I thought it's another cover because it's such a great song. No, she wrote it. Let me see. Just a second. She's just such a hardworking girl.
You should try to get her to cover a Helloween song, man.
I don't think she cares about metal. I don't think so. She loves Imagine Dragons. That's her favorite band.
Oh, okay.
I got it. Just a second.
No problem.
Yeah. No worries.
Pink took her in her as a support act in Europe. Then later on, she was opening up for Pink then, and she did well. She did really great. I don't know if you can see that. It's with the blonde hair there in the middle. It's a live performance. She did that in the pandemic, and that's one of her own songs. I mean, her own stuff is also amazing.
Yeah, I'll be checking that out after a little bit later today before I go to work.
What I love about her is she has this European flair. You know, she doesn't sound British. She doesn't sound American. She has this European Dutch vibe. You know, but with influences. You know, very unique. And she has this gift. There is, you probably won't remember all that, but there's one video where and it's from, I think it's 22, where she performs What About Us live. She has like braided hair. It's a Dutch TV show. And just that was the first video that I had seen. It just blew me away.
Just her with a guitar. Yeah.
No, that's another one. She has a band behind herself. The energy that she's radiating there. I gotta show you what that looks like.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful. There's just this, I don't know how, she radiates hope almost. Mm-hmm. Watch that. It's like, you feel great when you watch it. It's like
that's what made you and Kai always stand out to me, that you guys emanated like a powerful, positive vibe.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, she has got that for sure.
She's got that.
Not all the time. It depends on how she feels. If she feels great, you feel great.
Yeah.
I don't even think she knows, because this is one of those things. People who have that usually don't know because they don't feel it. They just radiate it. And the listener feels it, okay? I'm sure she doesn't know that she has that. What About Us?
What About Us?
On a TV, not the original video that Pink was reacting to. It's this one here.
I'm writing it down.
With the braided hair?
I see it. Yeah, I'm writing it down just to make sure I don't forget.
What About Us? It's a Dutch TV show. She has braided hair. The cover I was talking about.
Wow. She'll go up at the end of a phrase just a little bit. That's a thing you do. That's really cool.
All right. Okay. The thing is, the emotions. There's just so much soul in it. You know, there are a lot of great voices out there, but not everybody has the spirit like she has. Yeah. She's a master.
That's such a richly toned voice. So.
Yeah. And she was like really young there. She was like maybe 22 or something like that when she did that one. Now she's gotten even better. Her voice is even like more resonant, and she does it so effortless. She sings like she can go so high and it doesn't bother her at all. She just has that voice, It's amazing.
Yeah, she still just looks chill doing it. That's really
very natural. And she never had any lessons too. She was asking she was on a German TV show here, and they were asking her if she had any lessons. She said, "No, I was just singing a lot in my life."
That's super cool. That's so cool.
Michael, just curious, has there, you're mentioning how Pink sort of took her under her wing. Has there ever been a vocalist that you've discovered yourself, maybe that you encouraged and you're like, man, you got the stuff here?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not easily impressed too. It's like I've been around for some time. And I'm always searching for stuff because it gives you energy. Like she gave me energy because I got excited. When you get excited about something, it's just wonderful. You feel like, wow, there's hope. When someone like that shows up, and so I'm constantly interested in what's going on in various areas. But I'm not easily impressed because there have been a whole bunch of great vocalists, male and female. But she impressed me. She really did. And but other than that, just some people asking for some tips or something like that. And I would actually, in general, always say, do your own thing. Do your own thing. The situation that Pink was in was of course special because she was listening to videos that fans did, and her performance of What About Us was among those videos. That's why she had this reaction. And I don't do anything like that. I don't have a YouTube channel or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it was a certain coincidence that just happened with Pink and Davina.
I know we've kind of kept you over here, Michael. So just to wind down here, just curious, have you seen any good movies lately?
I've seen. I mean, I haven't. Let me just think. I'm more into TV series rather than movies. I love Foundation, for instance. I thought that was great. And
cool.
Murderbot. Have you seen Murderbot?
Murderbot? No.
Murderbot?
No, I haven't heard of it.
It's so cool. It's like from the perspective of a robot. It's like a bit in the future where the robots do a lot of work and stuff like that, and that robot is able to switch off his firewall so that he's free. Actually, he's somehow able to hack it in himself. And you see the whole first. It's just one season. I watched it in 2 days. That's how good it is.
Okay.
but it's from the bot's perspective. And yet the interesting thing is, he doesn't become evil. You know, he's intelligent, and they don't know that he's free. They don't know that he doesn't have this security switch, anymore, so that he could actually do whatever. They just discover that because he protects someone in a way that he's normally not programmed to do. And this is how they come behind the fact that there's something different with him. But they are. I don't want to spoil it, but it's I think it's
a tell. Okay, that's cool.
That's cool. An Apple production. It's Murder Bots. They have done one season. I thought it was really cool.
Oh, that sounds cool. Check that out. Like, I was gonna watch that new detective show with the guy from that English sitcom Peep Show. I can't remember what it's called though. But he plays like a sleuth or a gumshoe detective. Yeah, I don't know.
But Apple does quite good productions. I've noticed.
There's been a few shows that are cool. Yeah,
it's even more my thing than many things on Netflix somehow. I like Foundation, especially the first season, was like. Andy said the same thing. I was like promoting it, and Andy was watching. Yeah. He said it's the best science fiction show for years.
I gotta watch it because I've read the books, so like I should check out the series. Yeah.
Also, a very very cute main actress.
That helps.
Oh, good.
She's really beautiful. She's a British girl, bit darker. Done like from the technology perspective, it's done really well. I mean, it's definitely not a cheap production. It looks killer.
I gotta check that out. Yeah, the Asimov books are classics, so I gotta see that.
If you want to get triggered, just watch the trailer.
But first, I'm gonna watch some Davina and Michelle.
It just check out Halo. What About Us with the braided hair, the TV show, and Liar. I mean, there's tons of great stuff, but these are like 3 of my favorites.
Good. You have an album coming out, Giants and Monsters.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we should mention that.
There's a Helloween album. It's new.
You would be surprised how many interviews go down like that. We don't
Everyone's trying to podcast now. It seems like that's the way to go, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's much more interesting. You talk about things that you got in your heart. So that makes it an interesting conversation. That's much more exciting than we've made the greatest record we've ever done. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. What are your top 10 metal this is or that's? Yeah.
You don't have to do that anyway. The people who care about what you do, they know that you do a fucking record. You don't have to promote it. You just have a
dope that you took the time to show us something that you're cooking with that you love. That's so cool.
I love her. The girl is just killer. She's magic. She's a monster.
Well, Michael, like I said, I just think I can speak for me and JP here. We appreciate you giving us a little bit of extra time here and chatting with you. It's been we enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I like doing interviews, but I always tell the girl who sets the interviews up, don't do 20 minutes and then 10 in a row. Give me like 2 a day, but open ending so that it can be a good interview because I like it. I like quality.
Yeah. Well, I hope we didn't disappoint you, man.
No, it's great. There was nothing. It's like it seems to be also a little bit the music scene somehow. The people that show up and you talk to, it's almost always great. It's like out of 30, maybe 1 is okay, but the other 29 are always great. I think it has to do with the scene and the people that are approaching you and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that. It's noticeable. That you have like when you talk to people from that scene, it's usually much cooler. There's also easily a human connection happening.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. We have a common ground.
Yeah,
kicks ass. Can't wait for it to come out.
Yeah, I mean it's not long anymore, right? It's just I think 2 weeks or something over here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 29th in the U.S. So.
Yeah, I think it's the same here. I think it's the same.
Media marked. Let's have a party.
We're never big in America, but I'm just glad that it comes out,
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah, man.
Ever sold in America was something like 250,000 or something. I think that's
pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's pretty damn good. That was in the 80s.
You had the United States pressing where it had like the globe and then you had the states for the O in Helloween. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. I think we had to do that because I think there was another Helloween band in Detroit.
Oh, they did that to you? I didn't know. I thought that they made that up. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, and there was another one in Italy. This is also why they changed it to an E, so that you don't get mistaken. And in America, I think they had to do the globe because the other Helloween band had the pumpkin too. Of course, we didn't know it by then. I mean, the band was existing for years until we found out that there's another band in America.
They're more 80s metal, not so power metal like you guys, you know. So
do they still exist?
They do. They play shows sometimes. Like they wear like big costumes and like they put like a scary fence and a bunch of fog, you know. Like yeah.
Interesting that they're still around. Right? Cool.
Yeah, no, they still rock in Detroit. Like I've played a few shows with them back in the day, and they were like they were pretty faithfully doing their first album for the most part. Yeah.
I think we even met them sometime, but I might be mistaken.
I think I saw one of them at your show in Detroit in 2023, or outside Detroit.
Even in the 80s, I think even in the 80s, I think so. Yes, because he was saying we are the A's, you are the E's. that's how they. How do you say that? When you say hi, I am. How do you call it?
Introduce. When you introduce yourself.
Yes, that's how they introduce. We are the A's and you are the E's.
That's hilarious. Well, Michael, dude, appreciate you again, man. You have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. We'll talk.
Bye-bye, man.
Bye.
All right, folks, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed that chat with Michael. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you back next time.